They're said to be becoming increasingly concerned about the direction of the club and the uncertainty caused by no permanent manager appointed.
They need to pull their finger out.
The players?
Yeah, they do. Because, when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer his last game and Bruno was kind of pointing as if to say, it's us. Well, do something then. I love Bruno. Who wouldn't when he first came into the team? But I just think the players need to demand more. I'm sick of, changing the manager all the time. I don't think Ralph Rangnick's done a decent job. I know people are saying X, Y, and Z, but he's come in, he changed it to a 4-2-2-2.
Yeah.
Realistically, it was just a 4-4-2. I think the players are not flourishing. The environment seems toxic. You look at Liverpool, Luis Diaz goes in there, players go in there, they fit straight in. Regardless of their ability, they fit straight in. Jadon Sancho, he's come good of late, right? But at the same time, it seems like a toxic environment. And you would never see all these stories every day. I don't even want to go on social media anymore because there's a leak
you mentioned
every
Jadon
single
Sancho.
day.
You would see Roy Keane on Sunday. Sam and you and I were talking about this. Keane immediately gives it. And then, of course, what will happen? It's inevitable. The little apologist will appear on Twitter, on social media. And what do we see this morning? Jadon Sancho. Apologies to the fans. It's not good enough. We have to look at ourselves as players and work hard to make things right. We will keep on fighting. Why does he need to say that?
I don't know, but for me, I find it quite fascinating that players even get photographs when they've lost the game, because I would not be posting a picture of me holding my head in my hands like David De Gea posted the other day, head in the hand, saying we're going to make it better. The last thing on my mind, I'm a nightmare when I lose, but the last thing I would be doing is tweeting or Instagram. But the Manchester United social media account anyway will lose a game, and then the next thing they're like, get your Ronaldo shirt in the club shop for this much money. It's like just completely bypass the result, and it is annoying.
But you know why, Jim? Because we had this subject covered a while ago about the behavioural analysis of the Manchester United social media guys that talk about following trends, following the perspective of how social media needs to interact with fans, and then tipping the message to meet the requirements.
Yeah.
Remember we discussed that?
Yeah.
And this is the reasons why. Because you've got this formulaic approach that United believe is the right way to communicate. It's laughable. If you actually distill it down to what it is, the players aren't doing their jobs, and they should be the last people to be able to speak about the idea that it's going to get better next time round.
Well, exactly.
And the manager and
make
all
it
that,
better. And make it better.
I mean, what's Sancho thinking there? That he'll be forgiven by the fans?
Well, I don't think he's thinking anything. I don't think he put his hand anywhere near the keypad. I think it's probably one of the people that work alongside him, and also the social media PR department of Manchester United. The difficulty for Man United is that the focus and intention upon Man United is so great. We microanalyse every aspect of it because of the legacy of what Man United have built for themselves, which is
what we
arguably
used to be,
the poster boys of Premier League football, and what we used to be, and what they used to be. Not we. I mean, obviously, I come from the south, so by logic, I should be supporting Man United like most of their fans.
I've never heard that in my life. That's the first time I've heard that.
You look across the board, because it's a constant theme. And it's right that there's a big part of Man United's fan base that don't go anywhere near Manchester. But the bottom line is that United as a team are a country mile off. And it's people talk about my attitude towards Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It was laughable to assume that the antidote to the involvement of Manchester City and Liverpool and Klopp and Guardiola was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. What you've got now is a group of players that have got far too much to say for themselves, far less understanding of their responsibility, and their performances on the pitch are a byproduct of 3 years of a lack of understanding of what it takes to build an elite football club. You may have once been a substitute that scored a winning goal in the 1999 Champions League final, but it didn't qualify.
Hence the fact that he's not, managing right now when no one comes.
And so what you then got is you've got Ralph Rangnick coming into an environment where, and there's nothing wrong with interim management, it's been proven to be successful at Chelsea. Interim management can do a job, but if you've got a culture like you've got at Man United, where you've seemed to have people like Harry Maguire that come out with formulaic answers like robots about what they think people want to hear. You've got people like Bruno Fernandes, whose performances on the pitch are not good enough. You've got people like Rashford that think possibly they're going to apply their trade somewhere else because they can't do what's required to be successful.
A complete clear out needs to happen. And it doesn't matter who it is, it needs to happen.
Change of attitude. Are those players? Are the players good enough? If the players aren't good enough, then change them. If the players are good enough and their attitude isn't right, then that's the thing. Marucs Rashford is a decent player that was playing at a certain level. For whatever reason, the rumours coming out now that he thinks he should play. Where do you go if you aren't good enough at Man United? You don't go forward, do you?
No.
You tend to go backwards.
But I said this before on the show a couple of months ago that I believe that Rashford should leave Manchester United.
Why?
Yes, because he's just not at the level, and he looks like he needs a change.
You don't think he's a good enough? I mean, I think they've
No.
I think they've overpumped him. I think they've overmade him into a player. That
But
he's
if
not
the
as good
World
as-
Cup was now, Rashford wouldn't get in that World
That's
Cup
a good
squad.
point, Lianne.
Only
I
based
tell you
upon
what.
only based upon maybe previous years. He looks like a player to me. You know what it's like, Simon, when a player needs a change. I'm not saying he couldn't go somewhere else and do well.
Yeah.
But I think he looks like a player that's struggling
Or he applies
within
himself
himself.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.